It's one of the enduring mysteries of the last century, the fate of Russia's lost prince and princess. Tsar Nicholas II and his family were murdered after the revolution, but the bodies of the two of the royal children were never found. Now an author from Kent claims to have discovered their grave, and he's battling to get the remains identified. Ian McLaren has tonight's Meridian report.
They were finally buried in style befitting their royal status. Russia's last Tsar, his wife Alexandra, and 3 of their children were given a state funeral in St. Petersburg in 1998, 80 years after they were shot by Bolshevik revolutionaries deep inside a Siberian wood. But 2 of the children were missing, the Prince Alexei and one of his sisters, thought to be either Marie or Anastasia.
And here we have my great-grandmother, Maria Dagmar.
Among the mourners 8 years ago was Princess Olga Romanov from Faversham. Her grandmother, Ksenia, was the sister of Tsar Nicholas II and escaped to Britain during the Russian Revolution.
The people's reaction was amazing when we brought the coffins back from the airport with the cortege. The streets were lined with people, flag waving and cheering and signing the cross and everything, and there is a place in the vaults for the 2 missing ones, and it would be nice to lay them to rest with the rest of the family because they were, lived together and they died together, and now it would be nice if they were buried together.
That may at last be possible, according to author Michael Buchanan-Smart, who vowed to solve the Russian riddle after writing a musical about Anastasia. Mr. Buchanan-Smart travelled from his home in Canterbury to the remote city of Ekaterinburg in Siberia, where the Tsar and his family were held for more than a year after their arrest. In a forest the size of Kent, he followed clues left behind in statements of the family's executioner, Yakov Yurovsky. He described how the family was shot in the basement of this house before the corpses were driven away. Most were found years ago, buried in the same place. But Yurovsky implied that the missing children were burned and buried separately. And so a grave was found with 2 bodies.
I just couldn't believe that I've actually found the spot I was looking for. And I was totally in awe of what I'd found. Everything was perfect. This had to be the spot. And I was just amazed. It was a miracle.
Convinced these were the Romanov children, Mr. Buchanan-Smart returned to Russia twice, secretly bringing home some bones and keeping the location of the gravesite a secret. Olga Romanov has offered to give a sample of her DNA. Would that give conclusive proof, do you think?
It would if they had the right people doing it, because they need to have the weight behind them of the people that did it last time, and then the world believes it.
Mr. Buchanan-Smart has so far spent £20,000 on his quest. He's now seeking sponsorship to return to Russia and exhume the remains.
For some unknown reason, I think somewhere along it's my destiny. I was born on July the 17th at 2:30 in the morning, and they were executed on July the 17th at about 2:30 in the morning. It's not quite a recession now, but I have to go and finish the job that I started.
Princess Olga plans to return to St. Petersburg in September for another state funeral, that of the Tsar's mother, Maria Dagmar, whose body is being brought back home from Denmark.
The Russians feel they're trying to make recompense because they realise that it's a huge sort of thing in their history. And for us, well, most of the family got wiped out, and the ones that got away was just by luck. So it's just a terrible thing in history.
For years, various women around the world claimed to be the missing Princess Anastasia. It's hoped that myth can be laid to rest, and that this tragic story will at last find an ending. Ian McLaren for Meridian Tonight.